Hi Class 12, hope you're okay. I'm going to start today's literacy lesson off by reading a little bit more of Macbeth. Okay, I'm going to read you a little bit more, and by the end of today we will be able to hear the end of the story. Maybe that camera ever so slightly. A bit better? Okay, right. So, in the last part of the story, we found out that Macbeth had killed King Duncan, and he'd sent Duncan's sons away with him they'd sent his sons away so that they could not challenge him to be king of Scotland. So the witch's prophecy has come true. So let's have a look now at where the story goes to, and we'll finish it off at the end. So we'll have a little bit now, get our work done, and at the end you can hear the end of the story. Right. Macbeth's guilt made him feel that all the eyes were upon him. He was terrified of being discovered, so claiming vengeance, he killed both the guards before they could be questioned and reveal their innocence. "Oh, yet I do repent of my fury that I did kill them," he said. Despite his display of grief, many suspected that Macbeth, aided by his wife, had murdered the king. The two sons feared for their own lives and decided to flee from Scotland, Malcolm to England, and Dalbane to Ireland. So Macbeth, as next in line to the throne, was crowned King of Scotland. He had achieved his ambition and also fulfilled the witch's third prophecy. "Thou hast it now, King Cawdor Glamis, all the weird women promised," Banquo said to himself, "and I fear they passed most valiantly of it." Macbeth was haunted by the fear of being discovered as well as his own guilt. He worried that Banquo would find the murder. Somehow Banquo's descendants, and not his own, would one day rule just as the witches had foretold. To be thus is nothing but to be safely thus, he muttered to himself. Our fears in Banquo stick deep. Macbeth decided that the only way he could hold on to the crown and pass it on to his own children was to murder Banquo. So he's on a bit of a streak now. He's killed. How many people has he killed now? I make it King Duncan. He also killed both of his guards as well, so I make it 3. And now he's planning for a 4th. Not a very nice person, this Macbeth character. So Macbeth decided the only way he could hold on to the crown was to pass it on to his own children. It was to murder Banquo and his son, maybe 5 Fleance. So this end, he invited all the local thanes to a feast. As Banquo and Fleance made their way to the palace, they were brutally attacked by Macbeth's hired assassins. Fleance managed to escape, but Banquo died. Okay, so that's number 4. He has killed the 4th person. "Oh, treachery, fly, good Fleance. Fly, fly, fly," cried Banquo as he lay dying. "Thou mayest revenge." So as Banquo was dying, he told his son to get revenge for the murder. Oblivious to this horrific deed, the other thanes were merrily dining with the king. Macbeth and his queen were tense and nervous, but tried to put aside his guilt. Then, just as he stood to give toast, Banquo's bloody, wounded ghost appeared and silently sat down in Macbeth's seat. So, picture the scene. Macbeth's having a party with all the thanes, all the high-profile people in Scotland. And as he stood up, the ghost had gone and sat down in his seat. Now, you can see that the ghost has got blood all over his face. So, "Which of you have done this?" asked Macbeth in horror. But neither the thanes nor the queen could understand what he meant, as they could not see Banquo. So he can see a ghost, but nobody else in the room can. What are you doing there? Thou cannot say I did it, shouted Macbeth at the spectre. Never shake thy gory locks at me. So he's now starting to shout about what he can see. There was an uncomfortable shuffling amongst the thanes, and some made to leave. Why do you make such faces? Whispered his wife. When all's done, you look but on a stool. So in other words, his wife said, why are you behaving like this? We've got guests here, and look how you're behaving. Is this how we should be behaving as King and Queen of Scotland? But the ghost is haunting him, so he's slightly panicked right now. Macbeth was so unnerved by the ghost that, and the wounds it bore, which had been inflicted by his own henchmen, that the Queen finally dismissed their guest, pretending that the King was sometime afflicted by strange visions. So she turned around to all the guests and said, oh, he's not feeling very well. He gets like this every now and again. He needs to go and have a lie down. Okay, so how do you think this is going to end? Do you think it's going to end well for Macbeth, or do you think that it's going to be a bit of an unhappy ending? Okay, we'll find out at the end of this lesson.